What's up, everybody? And today we are reacting to the first US Space Force Bootcamp Training 2020 Space Force Basic Training. What a title. This is by Times Archive. There's a few bits in this which I don't think I necessarily have any good views on. Like, there's a big section of this that's in a classroom, apparently. So from some of that parts, I'll probably skip ahead on some of it. But I do want to know more about this Space Force. I think it's really important for the country. I think it's a step in the right direction, but we'll get into that in a second. But before we get started, as per usual, members, you're amazing. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. I honestly couldn't make videos every single day if it wasn't for you members. So thank you for supporting the channel as much as you do. If you don't know already, if you are a member, you should be joining the Discord where we can get put into a private chat and we bring you along on our streams on Fridays and play a bunch of games with you. It's a ton of fun. Links down below to all the usual stuff: Instagram, Discord, Twitter, website, merch, my second channel, my podcast, and my Twitch stream where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Which, by the way, Monday stream, I think we're playing... What we're playing? Dead by Daylight. It's gonna be a ton of fun. Anyway, let's shut up. I want to pull this up real quick before we... Let me... out a bit. I got tweeted this. My boy Maina Gamer from the Geek Channel. Shout out, Mark. I love you, man. Tweeted this to me. Today, after a year-long process that produced hundreds of submissions and research involving space professionals and members of the general public, we can finally share with you the name by which we will be known. Guardians. What do I think of this? I think it's hilarious that I was looking through some of the replies. Halo replied. I know James Gunn replied. Guardians of the Galaxy. I know people were posting pictures of James Gunn right there. I know people were posting pictures of Destiny as well, wherever that hilarious. What do I think of this? I think so. The name Guardians is obviously very kind of sci-fi-esque. In a sense that when it is to do with space, there's so many things already connected to it, like Destiny, like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. You can also use Guardians as something that's not really sci-fi, but I think the way that the country's going and the way that the world's going with technology, and someone who's in school for computer science, and I've done classes on all sorts of different things when it comes to computer software and people being able to hack and people being able to survey all your equipment and drones and all that lot. From learning all that stuff in school, I think having a Space Force, no matter how ridiculous it might seem, is a step in the right direction. I think it's actually a good thing. I think it dedicates a large portion of people into one aspect so that even though the Air Force was pretty much taking care of it, it gives them a sole kind of purpose. And I like that. There's a lot of space up there in space for other countries to put out satellites and all sorts of different equipment that could keep an eye on the US that we don't necessarily want, especially if they're looking at US bases and looking at what equipment we have. And we don't want that at the end of the day. So having a Space Force, no matter how ridiculous it does sound, is a good idea. So yeah, I want to know more about these. We're going to watch this video. Let me zoom back out. This is by Times Archive. Yeah, let's just enjoy it. Let's learn something about the Space Force. Shout out to Times Archive. We will put a link down below to the OG video. Please go check it out, okay, and give him some love.
First of all, thanks for volunteering to defend our nation, and congratulations on being the first Americans to enlist directly into the United States Space Force.
Hell yeah. They must be so proud. That is so cool. That is so cool. I am very, very proud of these four individuals right here. Also, these t-shirts, I want one. I actually really want one of them t-shirts. I wonder if I can get one. USSF. I like it a lot.
If
and
you'll
that
raise
flag.
your
Look
right
at that
hand
flag.
and repeat after me, I'll administer the oath of enlistment. I state your name.
I, C.D. Biggers,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear.
Okay, we don't have to watch this, but I want to go back a bit. Look at it. So this dude, obviously, I don't necessarily know US ranks all that much. 4 stars is huge. I know that. But what I do want to point out, he has got US Space Force, I don't know what you call it, a badge, I guess you would call it, up here in the top left. Now, I know a bunch of the US Air Force moved over to the Space Force, and that might be what these recruits are doing. And I'm wondering whether that's what this guy did. Obviously, he's been in the military for a long time. Total respect to both of these two individuals right here. And if anything, a 4-star general is probably one of the best things we can have in this new branch of the military. We're swearing in here, so we're going to kind of push through this a little
So
bit.
help me God.
Congratulations and welcome to the United States Space Force.
Amazing. Amazing.
Look at him. Go like this. Go like this. Go. All right, ready? Guys, we're racing. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it.
Okay, so obviously I was in the British military. There's a lot of differences both between the two countries with training and also the times. I was in training in 2008, which is a lot different than 2020. Okay, I think this obstacle course is more for show than anything else. I don't necessarily see the full benefit of this. It's kind of like a regain in the Royal Marines, but on a metal pole. So I guess it works. It sucks that they all have to wear masks. 2020 sucks. But the instructor was having a laugh with them, so this makes me feel like this is more of a just showing you what they get up to rather than actual training. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Pay attention real quick. What's going to happen is
Catch him. Catch him. Catch him. Hurry up. Hurry up. Catch him.
Roar, I'm a
catch
bear.
him. Don't let him win.
Interesting.
Don't let him win. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Catch him. Catch him. Catch him.
I mean, will they be in space? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Most of these people will not be in space, but they will be surveying space, and I think they will be keeping an eye on it. And I think, you know, will they be sat in front of computers? Will they go to space? Maybe. I really don't know. And how much use is an obstacle course apart from general fitness? I don't know. I'd like to know more about what their actual purposes and what their tasks are when they get out of training. Like, what are they actually doing? Are they sat at a computer keeping an eye on in the sky, or are they training to be astronauts? Like, what are they actually doing? That's what I want to know.
Shimmy, 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 shimmy.
Good technique right there. Go on, lad.
I'm a bear.
Is he saying I'm a bear? You say I'm a bear? Is that what he said? So it's the same obstacle course over and over again. Have we got anything different? Interesting. So they're gonna go underneath. Alright. It's kind of strange, but again. So obviously we do something very similar called a regain, where you're on a rope. You go across the rope about halfway, you dangle down from the rope, and then you kick back up and you get back on top of the rope. So I can understand the reasons for that, but the reason we do it is for ropes between ships and land, or between ships, is so you can go across the ropes or whatever. But it's just it's more tradition these days, I think, and it's more to do with fitness. Even though the skill is there and the skill is important. You know, on a metal pole, can I see it needing a skill for that? I don't know. I honestly don't know about this, guys. I don't know about this. I'm trying to be nice. It doesn't look very intense, does it? Let's be honest. Are these guys actually in the Space Force, or are they part of the Air Force moving to the Space Force is another question. They're sworn in. They're sworn into the Space Force, so, you know, it must be them now. They must be not even connected to the Air Force at all, right? Classic. With gloves on? Why have they got gloves on? I wonder why they've got gloves on. Just having a good old chin wag. Alright. Not much is happening here. What else are they doing? Oh, here we go. Okay, okay.
when you get on the rope.
Okay, so this is exactly what the Royal Marines do. A bit higher, saying that, over freezing cold water. They get down. So you see how that guy turned upside down? Is this guy going to do it?
That's that black tape.
So they're just going across the rope. Okay, so if you can imagine that same thing about 30 foot in the air with a tank of water underneath called the tank. You go about halfway, you dangle underneath, you get back up, you go back on top of the rope and you go across. You do this with 21 pound, your rifle and all that good stuff. These are just going across the rope by the looks of it. But still, it's a technique we use, so I can understand it. Maybe they're just practicing.
Retreat flat. Go over the logs with direct paint. Head to red.
Okay. That must suck with a mask on. That guy's mask's falling off. It's falling off, mate. It's falling off.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Push yourself.
Let's go. Let's go, Space Force.
Space Force field organizations consist of 3 different echelons of command. Field commands, delta or garrisons, and squadrons. Interesting. I should read these at the bottom a bit more, shouldn't I?
So when your leg comes up,
Field commands align with specific missions focuses are led by Lieutenant General, the Major General. Okay. Deltas and garrisons are organized around a specific function, such as operations or training, in the case of a delta. Okay. Or an installation support, in the case of a garrison. They are led by a colonel. Okay. Squadrons are focused on specific tasks that are led by a lieutenant colonel. Interesting. Alright. Alright. How... Do they get weapons training? So we've got more obstacles here. It doesn't seem all that intense, does it? I mean, you say that, crawling on the floor is never fun. It's never fun in mud. So let's move a bit forward here. What they're doing.
get on until the first one gets off.
Okay, so there's a lot of obstacles here that I have seen in the military before. They're just not as, you know, they're not as high or as high risk, I think, as what I've seen. So we kind of have something like that on the Tarzan Assault course. Again, it's 30 foot up, you're timed, you've got 21 pounds, you've got a rifle, you've got all that stuff. So you're going to be really, really quick. Yeah, I don't know. Entry, what does that say? Entry control points, okay. So sentry. Guard duty? Is that what that is? Guard duty?
Proceeding.
Are they learning guard duty? Oh yeah, here we go, here we go. As of the 29th of November 2020, former Air Force Space Command bases have not been officially transferred to the USSF from the USAF, the Air Force, or been renamed from AFB to Space Force Base. So I was right about the branch of the Air Force moving over. So that's one thing that I'm pretty happy about. It looks like they're just training to be guards.
Safe.
Good drill.
Security at DFP3!
Has this guy got the... You can't see because my head's in the way. Let me move my head over here. This guy here on... Oh, you can't even see. This guy right here where my mouse is, top right hand corner. Is the butt of his weapon even in his shoulder? Doesn't look like it.
Rear security proceeding.
Moving forward, I think... Yeah, this guy's not... Oh, it is in his shoulder, is it?
Halt!
There's a lot of things wrong with his fire position there. The Space Force operates 6 primarily bases, 7 smaller stations, and 1 air base in Greenland. Okay. So... Yeah, there's a lot wrong there. I mean, we don't know how much they're trained on weapons, do we? Let's be honest. We don't know that. But there's a lot wrong with his fire position.
Spread your fingers, spread your feet. 2.
17.
Okay.
Slow voice.
So entry point is guard. They're just basically learning guard. Okay, we've got classroom instruction. This is the part where I said I didn't really know much about, so...
Now.
They've all got Air Force jackets on.
Understand? Yes, sir. All right.
Tension.
So, while we're waiting for all this to figure itself out, right? I'd like to do an introductory since there's only 7 of us. I don't know how much interaction you've had with each other.
Okay.
So, anybody who's dorm chief, element leader, had to stand up. You guys don't do that?
This girl's got crutches at the back.
Take it easy.
Yeah, I really love being like fit and active in sports and all that.
Thank you.
So they're introducing to each other. This is obviously these kids have just started the obstacle stuff. They're just starting. I think this is more for show for the TV. It's got to be.
Asking me if I wanted to join.
An idea that was with our current president, right?
More classroom
Yeah,
stuff.
Space Force.
Members of the United States Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force are also being detailed to the Space Force. Okay, so there's more than just Air Force. Interesting. It looks like there's individuals that there are currently 16,000 individuals assigned to this. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, so it looks like the infrastructure from the Air Force is being pushed over to the Space Force, but the people can join from wherever they like. I'll tell you what, if I was in the military, I'd probably sign up. It's new, it's interesting, and it's different. I'd probably sign up if I was in the military right now. I probably would.
I will not, like, even there's generals that didn't even think this was a thing still. Like, Space Force? Copy that.
Okay, so Army space soldiers and Navy space soldiers and space Marines, they call them Space Marines, will begin transferring in 2022. If I was a Marine, I would 110% join up just to be called a Space Marine. 1,000,000%. I love it.
So, I'll have the slides up here. What have you heard about how
intelligence, engineering, acquisitions, science, and cyber communications? So, okay, so if anything, it sounds very much like what I've learned at school when it comes to, I had a specific class around cybersecurity, communications, and a few other different things about hacking and stuff. It was basically it was a class on like the do's and don'ts of coding and hacking and stuff, and I learned a lot about surveillance in this country and cybersecurity in this country, and I'm guessing they're going to learn a lot about that as well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Compared to the Air Force. I know you guys are in basic training, so you probably have no idea how the Air Force is. Until it becomes a reality,
okay.
It's just talk, right? So,
this is really
the first
interesting.
lesson we'll be going over is Space Force organization.
Okay, so they learn all about the organization. Okay, I actually want to hear this.
What does organization mean? Anybody, what does organization mean? Just raise your hand and tell me what you think the word organization
This guy's got an iPad.
So training room is reports in order, how it's set up.
How it's set up, right? So that is how. So yeah, you can take notes, but you guys should have this lesson on your iPads. Space Force organization.
On your iPads, they get issued iPads. What? Oh my days! I used to get put in the tank if I didn't have a pencil.
To America's
Graduation
and space professionals.
Okay.
Congratulations and welcome. In a few minutes, when you raise your hands to take the oath of office, know that our Air Force and Space Forces are stronger than we've ever been.
Hell yeah.
You've joined our ranks. Every basic military training class graduation is an important and inspiring event.
I would 100% sign up for the Space Force. Let me see what the United States Space Force has adopted the operational camouflage pattern OCP uniform as its combat uniform. Oh, they need to go more sci-fi. It needs to be like grays and blacks, and they need more sci-fi.
The class is historic, as this is the first class to send 7 of our nation's finest directly into the United States Space Force.
Hell yeah.
If I could spend just a minute talking to the 7 of you that are joining our ranks, I couldn't be more excited for you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We are just 10 days away from our first birthday, and you are a plank holder in the nation's newest service since the Air Force was established in 1947.
That's pretty crazy.
I need you to be bold.
All right, so I'm going to end
You
it
will help
there.
us
I'm going to end it there because it's going into other things like, you know, the patches on the arms. Space Force has also authorized the wear of the legacy digital Tiger Straight pattern. I don't know much about the US clothing, uniform, so I can't really give an opinion on that. They may also wear previous badges. Okay, cool. Awarded by sister services. That's good, obviously. It's cool. It's cool.
So,
I mean,
I just have one question for you. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest air and space forces?
all right, what do I think about it? I think the obstacle courses and they need a lot more training on the weapons. I think they're just not the same as the US Marines or the Royal Marines. It's just no way near the same level. However, these guys are doing something different. They're doing cybersecurity. They're doing different types of things that don't necessarily consist of being on the ground like the Royal Marines do, or the US Marines do, or even the US Army do. It's a lot different. The role is a lot different. Does that mean that they should be unfit? No, it doesn't. They should be very, very fit, because at the end of the day, you need to be healthy. And if they're working in cybersecurity, they need to be able to think clearly. And if you didn't know this, by obvious putting two and two together, you have to stay physically fit to be mentally fit. Okay, so they should be fit, and it looks like there's none of them there that seem unfit. But the obstacle courses are nowhere near as hard as what I think they need to. They need to have more fitness involved. They need to have more weapons training involved, because you never know, and they are part of the armed service, aren't they, at the end of the day? I think, again, it's a step in the right direction. I really, really want one of them Space Force t-shirts. If anyone knows where I can get them from, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about the Space Force. I'm guessing you guys probably have the same opinion on me when it comes to the physical part of the training and the weapons training, how it's just nowhere near on par with the Marines in any way. But the idea of the Space Force, I think, is a step in the right direction. It's a step that's needed. Yeah, especially with the way the world's going. So yeah, that's my opinion on it, guys. Members, you're amazing. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. Links down below to all the usual stuff: Instagram, Discord, Twitter, website, merch, my second channel, my podcast, and my Twitch stream, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Until next time, guys, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.